Today we take over the second of 3 promoted clubs to the Premier League. It is Southampton's time to shine. With their new arrivals, Harwood Bellies on a permanent from Manchester City, Ugo Chukwu from Chelsea, Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon, and even Adam Lallana has made the way to Southampton, as well as Alcaraz who returned from loan, and then Ben Brereton Diaz, who already caused controversy on the first Premier League match day in real life. Others like Sekou Mara have already left the club. But yeah, we need a lot of work if we want to survive with that, especially young midfield here, 18-year-old Ugo Chukwu, 19-year-old Fernandes, or the other way around actually. But Alcaraz is 20. We have a lot of young talent in this squad. Walker Peters is the captain. He's a quite talented, quite experienced right back. Of course, Lallana in the long run needs to get replaced. Maybe we can go already ahead and do that this season. Let's just wait and see. I have decided to employ the wing play strategy because we have Brereton Diaz, Kamaladin, good wingers here, a good front line, so that's what we are opting for. I've also employed Dylan Collins, a 5-star scout here who can bring us some talents to Southampton. And in the first season itself, we have about 52 million in our budget to bring in 3 new players. And just like that, we have sold Robert Perrault to Crystal Palace for 5.1 million, Adam Armstrong for 5.2 to Union Berlin, and Khaled Akar for 6 million to Fiorentina. So we've recreated Perrault and Khaled Akar's departures in real life as well. And just like that, we are up to 73 million in our budget. That's a good budget. At a very low cost, we bring in the first player of this Southampton rebuild, a CDM from Liverpool, 19 years of age, by the name of Stefan Bajcetic, joining us for 5 measly million. At yet another low cost, we bring in a left back from Argentina, from Brighton. At Brighton he's playing. It is going to be Valentin Barco joining us here at Southampton for 4 million, so we've only spent 9 million on 2 very talented players. With the arrival of Bajcetic, 1872, I've also changed the formation to 2 holding midfielders because otherwise we will get grilled in the Premier League. Barco takes the left back spot, even though Sugawara is higher rated, but Barco has a lot of potential. He's 1872. I have just brought in a third and final player, and this time it's an absolute superstar. He's already 31, but he makes a return to the Premier League. He makes a return to where it all began for him, at Southampton. I am, of course, talking about the Senegalese player, Sadio Mane, a winger where we absolutely needed improvement. 55 million from Al Nassr he cost us. He's back home. I, of course, give Sadio Mane the starting left wing spot here. Sulemana goes to the right. I've also put Fernandes in midfield ahead of Lallana because really, Fernandes is about 16 years younger and only 4 overall lower. And he's showing great potential, so he could overtake Lallana even in overall in the first season. But with this team, Season 1 with Southampton is done and dusted, and we've just about stayed up here. To be fair, 10 points ahead of Ipswich Town, but only in 16th spot. 68 goals conceded, nearly the second most actually in the league, just behind Ipswich. 10 wins though have kept us up, 12 draws as well, helped us on our way. The FA Cup goes to Arsenal over West Bromwich of all teams, while we have been knocked out in round 5, which is around the 16 if I'm not mistaken, by West Ham. Carabao goes to Arsenal over Chelsea in the London derby in the final, while we have been knocked out in very early doors by Man United in round 3. Sadio Mane is just the reason why we stayed up. 18 goals for him, down to an 84, but 8 assists even, so the best scorer and the best assister. Sulemana with 8 goals, 8 for Alcaraz, 6 for Smallbone. But those stats are not enough. The one who saved us is Sadio Mane. Our team surrounded by superstar Sadio Mane. Alcaraz is up to 76, Fernandes 74. Ugo Chukwu has disappointed me a little bit. 72 rated. 77 Harwood Bellies, 76 Bella Kotchap. Barco up by 2 to 74. Walker Peters up by 1. Right before the season ends, we make a couple of positional changes. Sadio Mane to a left winger, and he goes back up to an 85 here. Ben Brereton Diaz from a left midfielder to a left winger, and he also goes up by 1 to a 76. Ugo Chukwu to a CDM from a central midfielder. 76, he goes up by 4. And finally, Mateus Fernandes to a cam from a centre midfielder. And he goes up by 3 as well. I mean, that growth is incredible. We have survived the first season. That's the first and most important step in this rebuild. The Cups aren't really important in the first season. Round 5 in the FA Cup, round 3 in the Carabao. The most important thing is how we grow as a team. And the second season is going to be a vital one. At the start of the second season, Adam Lallana will join Leeds United. Manning will join Brentford, the left back. Otherwise, I don't really know what to improve on. Maybe a better striker, but then again, Alcaraz has the potential. Suleimana is a good right winger. He's only 22 as well. The team is very, very young. And I'm surely not gonna let the 62 million we've got go to waste. To start off the second season in terms of transfers, we go in for an absolute superstar. A goalkeeper who will change the game for us. He's 27, 86 overall, and his contract was expiring. I am talking about the European Championship winner with Spain, Unai Simon, who joins us for 41 million from Athletic Club. An absolute bargain. We've also put in quite the effort to make a clear out here. Smallbone goes to Bournemouth for 6.2 million. Lawrence to Barry for 1.25. As well as Cameron Archer for 6.7 million. Going to Nottingham Forest. And backup goalkeeper Joe Lumley, who goes to Rangers for 1.3, was already in 29, only 70 rated. Which means that after the arrival of Unai Simon and the sales, we are back up to 36 million. Our second signing of this window is a clever little 30-year-old, 82 rated CDM, giving us the necessary experience because we have a very young squad. The captain of Borussia Dortmund, Emre Can, here coming from Spurs for 26 million, joining us at Southampton. And at last, a clever little signing, backup striker from South America. His contract was expiring, and that's when we snapped him up from Barcelona in South America for 1.8 million, Allen Obando. And certainly with the signing of Simon 2786, Emre Can 3082, and Allen Obando for squad depth purposes, we have strengthened that team here massively, especially in goal and in midfield. Bazunu is now making the bench much better, just like Bacetic. We are on the right track, that's what I can tell you, lads. I have just found a few absolute beasts in our youth academy. Harrison Warren, the first one, a goalkeeper, 16 years of age, 60 overall, 83 to 94 potential. The second one, the biggest of them all, Albi Dalton, 17-year-old, 70 overall, one of the highest rated youth academy players I've ever seen, 92 to 94 potential. And then Gabriel Armstrong, who is still too young to get promoted, he's a striker. But the other two are immediately going to... It seems as though we've done a very good job rebuilding Southampton, because in the second season itself, we are in the top 6. 6th position, only 2 points of Crystal Palace, very surprisingly in 5th. 4th place Newcastle, 9 points ahead of us. But yeah, we've done a fabulous job here in the Premier League. The FA Cup goes to Liverpool over Leeds, while we have been shamelessly knocked out by Leicester in round 3, 3-0 at home. Oh my. The Carabao Cup goes to Middlesbrough of all teams over Chelsea, while even here we've been knocked out in round 2 by Wolves, so very bad in the Cups, very good in the league. I take that. We are looking at 18 goals from Alcaraz, up to an 80 overall. Good that I didn't replace him right away. Suleimana with 12 goals, Pereira and Diaz with 7. But where is Mane? He's scored 9 assists, so the best assister, but only 3 goals is a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. However, our team is coming together absolutely fantastically. Quite close to everyone being in their 80s. Only, I think, a couple of players, 4 players maybe, under the overall of 80, with Barco 79, Bella Kachap 79, Ugo Chukwu 78, and Suleimana also 78, but all of them still relatively young. 6th spot in the Premier League is fantastic. It maybe allows us to go to the Conference League next season. I actually do believe that. But yeah, I wouldn't have expected that at all at the beginning of this rebuild to be in Europe in the 3rd season. To start off season 3 with Southampton, we go in for another player who used to play for us. It is the Dutch centre-back, Van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk, joining us for 30 million. He's 34 now, but his contract was expiring and so he pounced. Second, I have decided to go in for a new central midfielder to strengthen that midfield. It is the German Arne Engels joining us from Inter for 19.5 million. We've also sold Jan Bentnarek as we have now got Virgil van Dijk into the squad. He goes off for 5.5 million to Leeds United. Just like selling both Kyle Walker-Peters to Chelsea for 13.5 and Paul-Ebere Onwachu for 4.15 million to Al Hilal. And finally, we've also sold Ben Brereton Diaz to Leicester City for 17 million. Final player we bring into the club is a new right winger, a starter at that spot. I've never bought him before. His contract was expiring. It is Brian Mbeumo coming in from Brentford for 28 million. So this is how the team is looking like to go into that third season with Southampton. Fernandes still at the camp spot. We have Engels now as his backup. He's 76 rated at 21 years of age. Mbeumo is of course now the starter, 26, 82 overall. He completes that front three in the 80s, and apart from Ugo Chukwu and Baku, everyone is now an 80 plus rated player. With of course Van Dijk immediately the captain, 34 years of age, 88 overall. And guys, we'll even be in the Europa League alongside PSV, Shakhtar Donetsk and Helsinki from Finland. Season number 3 ends in a bit of a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie, we have fallen off from 5th to 8th. 8th spot, 59 points, 10 points below Liverpool in 4th. The problem is we've only lost 9 games, but we've drawn 14. This is way too much. Manchester City win also the FA Cup over Spurs, whilst we have been knocked out in round 3 by Peterborough. What a joke. Carabao goes to Arsenal over Newcastle, and even here we've been knocked out in round 3 by a lower league club in Birmingham City. We've been absolutely horrific there. In the Europa League, we topped our group in flying colours. 6 wins out of 6, 18 points, 10 ahead of Shakhtar Donetsk. But we faced PSG and got knocked out in round of 16. I mean, how unlucky can you be? Of all teams to face PSG in the round of 16. Arsenal in the end have beaten PSG in the final on penalties to win the Europa League. The Champions League goes to Juventus over Barca, whilst the Conference League goes to Marseille over Mallorca in the final. Brian Mbeumo was the right man to buy. 16 goals for him in his debut season for Southampton. 13 for Mane still, even though he's 34 now and down to an 83. Suleimana with 11 goals, his backup. And then Alcaraz with only 8 goals. That's disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. That's really disappointing by our star striker. What I can tell you is the growth in certain players is absolutely bonkers. Bacetic up to an 83 at, of course, 21 years of age. Van Dijk has gone down to an 87, but Harwood Belly is up to an 82. Sugawara even up by 1. Barco up to an 83. Simon 88 rated. Mane still at an 83. Alcaraz up to an 84. But yeah, an overall kind of disappointing season. I mean, don't get me wrong, we weren't horrific or anything in the Premier League. And to be in 8th spot in the 3rd season after promotion is good. But after that 5th spot last season, I would have hoped for even more, maybe just a confirmation. To start off season number 4, we have our biggest budget yet, 88 million. And that's because we have cleared out the club. James Bree goes to Norwich for 2 million, 3.9 for Edozier, who was a good servant to the club, but he's now just been outgrown by everybody else. Charles goes to Leeds United for 6.6 million, same thing applies to him. And that's why I've decided to go in for an absolute superstar at centre-back, 28 years of age, 87 overall, from Manchester United. His contract was expiring. I am talking about the left-footed centre-back Lisandro Martinez, who comes in for 36.8 million, plus Arnel Bella Kotchap, who wasn't really of any need anymore. Just like the second new phase we go in, we nearly splashed all our cash on those 2 new star arrivals. This guy here is 32 already, a lot of experience, he's 86 overall, and again the contract was expiring. I am talking about the Portuguese right-back João Cancelo, 38 million, he can give us at least 2 seasons, to 3, on the highest level. I mean, with both arrivals, Lisandro Martinez, 28.87, and João Cancelo, 32.86, this team is looking a lot better, especially defensively. No player in the whole starting 11 under the overall of 80. We have Suleimana, Dalton and Amoame Yafu returned from loan on our wings. So a lot of depth there to replace the Mane or Mbeumo. Alcaraz and Umbando are still our two strikers. And with Martinez and Van Dijk and Simon in net, we are really strong now in defense. I've also found a couple of very interesting youth academy players. Franklin, Holland and Houghton are all going to get promoted. A right back, a CDM and a right winger. Holland being the best one. Season 4 is finished and we are finished as well. Because we've finished even lower this time. Even lower than last time. 9th spot, 55 points. 13 wins again, 16 draws. Just nearly half the game we've played, we've drawn. That is just too much. Man City do the 3rd Premier League title in a row here, I think. However, we win our first cup. We also qualify for Europe through this 3-0 over Norwich in the FA Cup. That is brilliant. No Carabao Cup, though, as Villa defeat Leicester there. We have been beaten by Burnley. Standard business here in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. Champions League goes to Man City over Barcelona. Europa League to Fiorentina over Chelsea. And the Conference League to Inter over Man United. 17 goals for Mane, that is the top man here. 14 for Mbeumo, again very good. 12 for Chan from CDM is crazy as well. But my question is, where is Alcaraz? I mean, how is it possible that he only scores 6 goals and 1 assist? That is just not good enough. Obando with 4. Our strikers don't score enough. Cancelo with 10 assists. Great transfer. But yeah. A lot of disappointment here from our strikers. Our team looks brilliant, absolutely great. It has to qualify for Champions League football in a couple of seasons, or this next season as well, because, I mean, Mane is one of the lowest rated players now. That speaks for itself. Van Dijk up down to an 85. All the others, Martinez 88, Simon 88, Barco 84, Cancelo still 86, Alcaraz up to an 86, but he's only scored 6 goals. I'm a little bit done with this team because I expected Champions League football this season. We only finished in 9th, so we need to make changes. We do have 89 million in our budget, and we absolutely need it to clear out the club here and to bring in 3 new players. To start off with, we make an absolute game-changing signing. A man whose contract was expiring from Real Madrid, a centre-back, replacing Van Dijk. I am talking about Eder Militao, who joins us here for 70 million. What a signing. A second signing to slowly but surely replace Sadio Mane on that left wing is a South Korean regen, probably the Young-min Son one. He was already approached by Spurs, that's why we went in for him very quickly. This Il-sung Lim joining Southampton on a free, he's a free agent. We now have an absolute up-and-coming superstar in Lim here. He's actually left-footer, so he might be better off the right, but maybe also try something new, a left-footer on the left. We may need to sell Suleimana because Dalton is the same overall already and we have too many wingers. Maybe that could give us some money. And then of course finally the centre-back whose contract was expiring from Madrid, Eder Militao, 29, 89 overall. We have sold both Harrison Warren to West Ham, our youth academy goalkeeper who wasn't really developing as nicely as I would have liked him to, as well as Suleimana for 28.3 million to Bournemouth to get us some funds. I wasn't lying when I said we'd make a big clear out. Virgil van Dijk goes to Man City of all clubs for 27.3 million. And Emre Can goes to Arsenal for 33 million, so 2 of our starters gone. Which means that we can splash the cash on one single player, 100 million in our bank. We bring over the biggest player we've signed so far. A French CDM, once again, what I love. Contract expiring. He's only 27 years of age, he's 89 overall. We've had to work a lot for that transfer to happen, but finally it has. Aurélien Tchouaméni goes to the Premier League, to Southampton for 80.5 million here, in season number 5. I mean, this team is looking brilliant now. Tchouaméni 27.89, Militao is there 29.89, as I already showed you. And then of course, where is he? Our last signing, Lim, the 22-year-old, 82 rated left winger. Before I forget, I want to show you that we've won a second trophy in the Community Shield. 1-0 over Manchester City, the English champions. That's a good season starter. As the FA Cup winners will once again, of course, be in the Europa League alongside Ajax, Sparta Prague and Apoel, a group that we are done with Season 5, and I can tell you that we are the Premier League champions, 11 points as well ahead of Spurs. That's what you love to see. Finally, those signings come in clutch. Still 10 draws but only 3 losses by a mild least amount. The FA Cup goes to City over Middlesbrough of all teams, and we got knocked out by City in the semi-finals. Carabao Cup still haven't won that. West Ham win it this time over United. We have been knocked out very early doors once again by Chelsea in round 3. We've also been in the Europa League, where we topped our group in flying colours ahead of Sparta Prague. Round of 16 we defeated Sporting just about 4-3. Quarter-finals, where are we? 4-3 against Wolfsburg. Very well done. Semi-finals, we even beat PSV to face Milan in the final. Can we win the Europa League? Yes, on penalties, 3-1, just about. Wow, what a game. The Champions League surprisingly goes to Leverkusen over PSG. We will of course be part of this competition next year. And finally, the Conference League goes to LOSC Lille from France against Hoffenheim from Germany. Mbeumo has really surprised me in a very positive way. 22 goals for him, 86 overall. Alcaraz, finally man, finally he comes in clutch, 18 goals. Was about time as well. Mane still going strong at 36, 82 overall, 14 goals. Obando with 12 even. With a few improvements here and there, we can really challenge next season for that Champions League crown. I mean, Lim, I've put him here ahead of Mane now. But all the other positions are fine. Very fine. Cancelo is getting old as well. He's 85 overall. Maybe a better player than him. But otherwise, Fernandes, I don't know. I'm not sure. He's still relatively young, 23. Season 5 is done and dusted. We will be in the Champions League in Season 6. With a chance to complete this rebuild. We've also won the Europa League. To start off Season 6, we sign a massive player at the cam spot. The man who tear it up at the Euros. Here he comes from Real Madrid. In real life, he just transferred to Barcelona. It is Dani Olmo for 74 million. After signing Dani Olmo from Real Madrid, we have sold both Amoameyav to Brentford for 10 million and Arne Engels, the backup cam, who is now a third string only with the arrival of Olmo, to Man United for nearly 50 million. Which means that we still have about 118 million even though we have already signed Dani Olmo. That's when we swoop in for a new right back. Cancelo is now 34, so he's only going down from here. And I have signed a 27-year-old from Napoli. He's 85 rated. It is Sacha Boey coming in for 39 million, plus Joao Cancelo, who goes to Napoli the other way. And last but not least, a new left midfielder replacing Sadio Mane, who has given us 5 fantastic years. But now it is time to move him on. He's 35. And we go in for a 10-year younger left midfielder, 87 overall. In a swap deal with Sadio Mane from Chelsea, it is Yeremi Pino joining us for 63 million plus Mane. With the arrival of Pino, 25.87, and the Lim going to the bench, 23.85, he can give competition to both Pino and Mbeumo. Olmo goes into the starting 11, 30.86. With, of course, Bowie now going to the right back spot in the starting 11, 27.85. I opted to keep Sugawara, who is 28 only. As opposed to, of course, Cancelo, who was same overall, but 34-35 already. At the start of Season 6, we have won the Community Shield back-to-back, 1-0 over Manchester City. And even the UEFA Super Cup over Leverkusen, the Champions League winners, we have beaten them, so we are ready for Season 6. This is what it all will come down to, the UEFA Champions League, where we'll be in Group H, the last group, with Inter, Benfica and Panathinaikos. Not an easy group by any stretch, but we are strong enough to get out. Point of season number 6, and we are in second place. 6 points behind Manchester City, who have had nearly a perfect season. 1 loss only for them, 3 for us. Fulham, very surprisingly, in third place. And in the Champions League, very, very tight, but we topped our group ahead of Inter Milan and Benfica, so we should get a little bit of an easier draw in the round of 16. Yeah, that is easy. Real Madrid will play Southampton. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely bonkers. Wow. Starting off with the hardest draw there is in world football. Away at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu with our full strength starting 11. Can we get something out of Madrid here? Let's just wait and see. Yes! We actually win that game 2-1. We turned the game around within 3 minutes. Jeremy, Pino and Alcaraz score our goals. Vini gave them the lead. But we are up for the second leg at home. The big question is, can we pull through at St. Mary's Stadium at home once again with the strongest starting 11? We are up to 1 and it's a 0-0 draw, which is enough to go to the quarterfinals and defeat Real Madrid on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we will face Barcelona, first away from home at the Camp Nou, or El Libertadores it is called here. Full strength starting 11, Pino up to an 88, we have Mbuemo at an 87, Alcaraz up to a 90 overall, and both our centre-backs, Martinez and Militao as well, 91, and Simon 90. So we quick sim our game with a lot of hope here, and it's a 1-1 draw. Ferran rescues Barcelona's hopes in the 85th, Tchouaméni gave us the lead in the 11th minute. Second leg at St. Mary's, 1-1 is the result from the first leg. Can we pull through to the semi-finals? Yes! It's a 2-1 win. The both ex-Real Madrid players, Militao and Tchouaméni, score. Pedri gives Barca one back, but that's not enough, as we see ourselves through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And in the semi-finals, we will travel to Dortmund for the first leg. Borussia Dortmund is our opponent. Full strength first 11, Militao a bit tired. Let's see how this goes. It's a 3-2 loss. It's a 3-2 loss in the first leg. Mbuemo missed the pen. He scored a goal, Jeremy as well. But Dortmund scored 3 past us. Balogun with a brace and Miguel Gutierrez. The second leg of the Champions League semi-final is on the way. Can we turn the tie around here at home at the St. Mary's to go to a Champions League final? Let's find out. Quick simming, and we do it. We have done it. 3-1 win against Borussia Dortmund. We were 3-0 up. Olmo, Alcaraz and Mbuemo scored. Pinoe gave them one back, but that's not enough, as we are through to a maiden Champions League final for Southampton. An unlikely Champions League final between Southampton and Sevilla will take place on the 2nd of June. I'm looking forward to it, absolutely. I'm very excited here to face Sevilla. Atalanta win the Europa League, the second best European competition, over Wolfsburg 1-0, while even OGC Nice tastes glory in an all-French encounter actually against Rams 3-2 in the conference. In the end, we lose out on about 5 points to Manchester City and don't make it back-to-back Premier League titles, but second place, even if we were to lose that final against Sevilla, we could still play Champions League football in Season 7, in a potential Season 7. However, we do make our 3rd title in this season alone after winning the 2 Super Cups, defeating Brighton here in the FA Cup this time. Man United win the Carabao Cup over Liverpool, and we have been knocked out by the same Liverpool in the quarterfinals. Once again, Brian Mbuemo is the best player in this squad, the best goal scorer and the best assister. 20 goals, 9 assists, incredible. Wasn't expecting that when I picked him up to an 88 at 29 years of age. Alcaraz with 15 goals, he's really stepped his game up as well. 15 for Pino as well, his first season, fantastic. 13 even for backup striker Robando. 9 goals, 8 assists for Olmo, great as well. And if you look at the entirety of this squad, we do belong here where we are, because look at the front line. Pino 88, Alcaraz 90, Mbuemo 88, 87 rated Olmo, 91 rated Tchouaméni, with an 86 rated Budget, which has really developed nicely, a fully 91 rated centre-back partnership with 87 and 86 rated fullbacks, and to top it all off, a 90 rated goalkeeper, the 4th, holding down the 4th. Here we are then, Southampton against Sevilla in the Champions League final. Nice piece of play, very early doors. Bacitic into Olmo. Olmo. First chance, first goal. We are 1-0 up. Dani Olmo outside of the boot. Fantastic strike. And already 1-0 to Southampton in the Champions League final. And look at this. First the pass from Olmo into Bacetic's path. Then Bacetic with the pass back to Olmo. And he blasts the shit out of this. Very, very precise though. From the edge of the box into the top corner. Look at this curve on the ball. Great. No chance for Carnesecchi in Sevilla's goal. Nice intervention here again, Olmo. It's the Olmo show here early doors. He can go maybe for another goal. He looks for it, and Carnesecchi this time with a good save. Everything going through Olmo in these first minutes. Even here, the corner, inside. It's deflected out, but Bacetic comes again and shoots. But a good save again by Carnesecchi. We are all over them in the first quarter of an hour. Olmo again with a corner. It's a good one. It's a good header and it's another save. Carnesecchi keeping them in the game. Now from the other side, Dani Olmo again with a corner. It's another good one and it's once again cleared, but still Jeremy Pino. We have been completely tearing them apart with our corners here. We make yet another one and it is Bacetic once again with a lot of space, but this time they seem to be able to get it out, or maybe not. It is Tchouaméni, 2-0! Tchouaméni with a goal! We are absolutely over them. Sevilla don't know what to do here in the first minutes, 20 minutes of this game. I mean, look at this. What are they doing defensively here? We get the ball back. I think it was Bacetic with the intervention, or even Alcaraz. It was Alcaraz actually. And Tchouaméni just passes it by Carnesecchi, who can't do anything this time. I've rarely dominated a game that much in a Champions League final. I mean, we absolutely deserved that 2-0 lead and Sevilla shattered. They don't know what to do. Still, we have to be careful because they could come back, and here they have the ball in our penalty box. It is a chance, and Simon with a save as well once. Sevilla have already made a change. Januzaj is out and Sigankov is in. I didn't even know Januzaj was still playing football, but oh well. Sevilla trying to get one back here in this instance. It is Gordon, Anthony Gordon even playing for them, but we do a fantastic intervention. One last chance maybe of the first half. Let's not concede now. That wouldn't be great, and Militao doesn't let that happen. Still though, Sevilla on the ball. They are in our penalty box in a shooting position and they score. It's 6 minutes over. Come on, ref. That is a joke. They score in the 6th minute of added time where there were 2 minutes added on. After that disgraceful late goal, we have to be more on the front foot again here than in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Already a free kick now to Sevilla. It's Anthony Gordon to take. And we get it out. And maybe now we can go on the counter. It's Brian Mbeumo. He's faster than Marcao here. Mbeumo looking for options to cross the ball. It's 3-1. It is 3-1, and I don't know who scored. I think it's Licha Martinez, the captain. Yes, absolutely. What is he doing in this position? The small centre back. Mbeumo with the sprint of a lifetime, and then the cross into Martinez, who just has to head it home here. It's 3-1. We are back to a 2-goal cushion. They can play some nice football, but this time we do well again here. And it is Alcaraz maybe on the counter once more. It is Alcaraz who hasn't scored yet today. Maybe now, Alcaraz! He hits it just wide. We make all our substitutions here in the last 10 minutes. Obando comes in for Alcaraz. Lim comes in for Pino. We have Harwood Bellis who comes in for Militao. And then Sugavara for Bowie, as well as Ugo Chukwu here for, of course, Bacetic. Somehow this didn't record, so I'm going to show you once again what happened here. We conceded a pen in the 88th minute. It is Sugavara just came on, and then that was, softer than an ant's fart, that pen. But yeah, I'm going to show you how it played out, because of course it was Pavlidis against Simon, and Pavlidis converted the pen, so it's only 3-2 now. Here comes Lim. Lim with his first action of the game. He hasn't got any support, but he does need it. It's Lim! Nearly scores. And that should be the final action of the game. Mbuemo bringing a corner inside. Can we crown it off here? No, but it doesn't matter. Karnesecki saves again, and we win the Champions League final 3-2 to make Southampton not only the best club in England, which we were last season, winning the Premier League, but even the best club in Europe in a grinding rebuild. I have to say, 6 seasons it took us, and in the end we completely dominated Sevilla. The scoreline doesn't reflect what happened in the game. We could have won 5-1, 4-1, 5-2, I don't know. But in the end it doesn't matter, as what is on paper, what stands on paper is that Southampton have won the UEFA Champions League in Season 6. But lads, if you enjoyed this rebuild with Southampton and that grind that I had to endure, then please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. For now, I'm gonna leave you alone with the celebrations as our captain, Licha Martinez, who we picked up in Season 4 or 5. We lift the Champions League for Southampton. The Saints are the best club in Europe.